Tonight, still around the 2019 elections, the main opposition PDP is confident of defeating the ruling APC at the 2019 polls. Tonight, we shall be talking to the PDP's vice presidential candidate and former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi. He joins us in our Lagos studio. Thank you so much for coming on the program tonight.
Thank you, Sam.
Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year to you. And to all Nigerians, Happy New Year.
Is it that your party is jittery? It looks like the criticism is that your campaign has fallen on his face and that things are no longer working for your party. That's the criticism coming from the APC.
Well, Sherry, I don't know where the criticism is coming from. Because actually, how you live in Nigeria. Can you go and search for Nigerians? I don't want us to be, trying to go around, mocking around the issues. The issue is that PDP is campaigning. And what we want the APC government to do is to show Nigerians what they've been doing in the past 3 years. It is not about, they should not bother about the affairs of PDP. That's not what it is all about. They're elected on the basis of their promise to the people 4 years ago. And that's what people want to know. How far were the achievements?
So your party's campaign, because they said the now popular Dubai strategy is not working. It looks so much that you slowed down.
What is the Dubai strategy?
We understand that some members and leaders of your party were meeting with your candidate in Dubai. They had a strategy meeting last year.
Last year, and you're talking, when last year? It depends. You don't go about with issue of Dubai, London, Japan have nothing to do with what is at stake here. We have millions of Nigerians who don't know where the next meal will come from. And you're talking about whether there's a strategy in Singapore and everything. That is not the issue in this campaign. The issue in this campaign is about millions of unemployed Nigerians. You just watch the recent job unemployment and everything that was released. It's gotten worse. That is what should bother everybody. What should bother us that Shegun, for the past 2 months, our universities are closed. That's what should bother us. Not the issue of whether there's a strategy in Dubai or this. No, it shouldn't.
Let's talk about what your party hopes to do differently. You've talked about, for example, the issues of, you mentioned the issues of workers, especially the university workers. And the issues of minimum wage is a major one. If you look at it, what would you say is the most preferred or the sensible minimum wage that your party will be willing to offer?
Sharon, I won't say anything to that except that we will engage both the university side and the labor in a more constructive way where everybody will see reason. Sharon, I have been able to engage workers in the past in a constructive way. There must be issues that border on giving proper attention to issues that are critical to this country. I don't think enough attention is being paid to the issues you just mentioned.
Nigeria definitely has an over-bloated civil service, isn't it?
You can make it work. You can make it to be productive. There's nothing that is about being over-bloated. Yes, there might be issues, but they can make it work. You can decide to make every worker, every employee to be productive.
How would you do that?
Of course, engage them properly. You can look at all those things. Make everybody feel a sense of, this is our number. In order for us to be properly remunerated, we must be able to do A, B, C, E, F.
50,000, 40,000? What figure would you say is a reasonable, considering the economic situation of the country and the purchasing power of an average Nigerian? For a Nigerian worker, what amount do you think is reasonable for a minimum wage?
So you said, for me, minimum wage, I said, we have to engage constructively. Minimum wage doesn't have to be universal. That I don't believe in. I don't believe that somebody in Lagos should earn the same thing as somebody maybe in Anambra State or somebody in Maiduguri.
So you'll be advising your principal.
Yes.
If you win, if you win this election, what would you be advising?
We would sit down with labor to find a constructive and acceptable position.
But the government sat down with labor. No, the state government are not agreeing. The state government said, some of the state governors say that they cannot cope. You've been a state governor for 2 terms.
Yes. And I said it, I was actually one of the committee, a member of the committee that sat on the last minimum wage. And I argued with that and said, listen, every state is not the same. Every state won't pay the same.
So each state should determine what it will pay its own worker.
Precisely. But it has to be...
There has to be a minimum, isn't it? A federal minimum.
There has to be a federal minimum. Then each state working within this minimum can decide where they should go. That's what is obtainable all over the world.
What amount do you think should be a minimum for Nigeria?
I can tell you, Sheikh, is not what I will answer you here. But I'm sure we'll be able to come out with what is acceptable. Because I know we'll sit down and discuss it constructively with the labor. I
know you've criticized, because I'm taking you on issues that is relating to the office of the vice president,
yes,
which you are running for. I know you've criticized what they call underpayment in the issues of subsidy, and which maybe this government would not like to refer to argument what the pump price of petrol. You have openly criticized the manner in which this government has handled that. That means you will not be paying anything aside that. It then invariably, economically, means that Nigerians may have to pay more for price. Are you thinking of increasing pump price?
Go and investigate what is being paid in subsidy. And I said categorically, we're paying for inefficiency. Period. It has nothing to do with what you're saying. When people talk about subsidy, say no country. This government has just recently launched a bogus policy on education, a bogus policy on health. Then go and just check the just presented 2019 budget. Health is 340 billion, 341 billion, and education is about 460 billion. So if you put health and education, which is the most critical component of development of any economy, if you put the two of them together, there is 800 billion when you're paying over $1 trillion in subsidy. It is unacceptable. No other country in the world.
How would you then tackle that issue? Because it's a big one. If you're not paying it, we might be paying average Nigeria might be paying more for pump price.
No, Shay, we're paying for inefficiency.
So what would you do?
If you remove it, I can assure you, within a year of efficient management of that process, the price will be what it is today, if not less.
So if you remove it, I mean, you studied economics.
Let me give you an example. Yeah. Part of what we are paying is the demurrage they pay at the port. If a vessel comes into our port today to discharge, it takes weeks. That's part of what we're paying. So when they talk about subsidy, talk about this, that is inefficiency.
But in the immediate, should you win this election, if you get into power, how would you tackle it?
You deal with inefficiency.
How would you? What inefficiency? In what way? You just mentioned one, the issue of demurrage.
Let me just give you an example. Not just issue of inefficiency, the corruption that is associated with it. Everything has to be transparent. And I can tell you, if Nigerians are going to pay today is how much?
We pay about how much?
No, what do we pay today? About 145. Mm-hmm. Even if Nigerians are going to pay temporary 150, I can tell that they can take it and have 13.5 million children out of school.
But you have
87 million.
You are agreeing that Nigerians will have to pay more, isn't it?
No. I'm not saying they will. I said if they have to do so temporary, it'll come down. When we were talking about telephone, for example, we know where it started. Shell today is almost free. Of course, when you started, there might be a little bit more. But if you follow it through and do the proper thing, I can convince you, Shell, the price will come down. What we're paying today is for inefficiency. Period. And it's like that in virtually everything. I said it before. Say, if a trailer to go into a Apapa port just to bring out goods, it takes 2 weeks. So a trailer that will charge you to bring out your goods from Apapa port, instead of charging you 200,000 naira, will charge you almost 1 million, because it takes him 2 weeks to go in, about a week to come out. So it calculates. Where does that happen, Sherry?
So you resolve that?
We couldn't even, for 3 years, we could not clear our trailers for a power port to Ikorodu. It doesn't make sense.
You do that, and how long will it take you to resolve that?
What can you say? Removing trailers. It's not a rocket science. Why do we make everything difficult in this country? And you say, asking me how long will it take you to do?